Hi. Oh wait, I think my Discord. I didn't. Yeah, it's still set up. Right, try speaking now.
Hello?
Hi, I can hear you.
Yahoo!
Right, yeah. As you can tell, I didn't have D&D today. I got called off. But anyways, gonna try and get through this.
Okay.
After a round of intelligence gathering from Faust, stream's lagging, we opened the door to the next cabin, only to be greeted by a loud commotion.
Sounds like there are other survivors.
I also need to take my hoodie off.
Passengers and dangers! Why not? For I have a right to. Hello. No.
Right. Did anyone join?
That's us.
Okay, right. Oh, passengers in danger.
I read the line.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry, I'm not making you voice Don Quixote. Whoa, don't come any closer. What the hell are you guys?
Four-armed woman suddenly jumped out in our path.
What? She appeared that morning.
House
Stumbled.
stumbled a little,
Inadvertently.
inadvertently
Slapped.
by the fingers swinging arms in her
She.
as she pushed us away.
Right, like you gave me any warning before you practically kicked that door open.
Would you mind moving that huge sword out of our face? It's a bit threatening.
Threatening? Just trying to protect those civilians in his car. Also, is that a bioprosthetic? Must be an old timer, huh? That's those things that went out of style forever ago.
Oh, you want to see what this old timer got left in him?
Huh? Aha! Thou art from the north, verily? Thy garb is that of northerners, no?
Is this really ain't the time, lass. Anyways, it looks like we're in the same mess here. Make way for us, yeah? She seemed to have been seized up for a moment. Sizing us up for a moment.
Nah, I know I trust you. Can I prove you ain't bitten? I'm not gonna let all my effort protecting this place go to waste.
Bitten? Bloody hell are you talking about?
Weird, you look completely lost. If you were in one of the iconic cars, I'm sure you've seen. Hold on.
That didn't pick up.
Shoot. I mean Tostinos. Ah. Hold on.
No, we're...
Are y'all from the first class car?
Hi, A-Bird.
Yeah, we just woke up for our capsules. But I mean, you look very... I mean, aren't first class seats supposed to be... Well, why didn't you say so from the get-go? Name's Sasha, multi-crack office rep.
With that, she lowered her weapons and allowed us to pass.
Have you not left this car for the duration of the ride, Sasha? Did not pick up?
Yeah. A-Bird says hello.
Hello. Have you not left this car for the oh.
Yeah, no, I heard it. It's just I was reading
Okay.
what A-Bird said.
Okay. No, I haven't. We ordered the T Corp after picking one of their contracts, but jeez. Can you believe that this train broke down? Shit, is it even broken? Oh, voice crack.
No worries.
Not feeling hungry or sleep at all. Thinks of some shady bullshit if you ask me. You can feel all that even in a prosthetic body? Man, how could I live without my favorite hobby? Drifting into there we go. Drifting into a sweet nap after a pleasant meal. So I made sure to get high quality parts from him so I still felt hungry and sleepy. Hasn't something else of note also occurred? You bet your ass something else did occur. Bleh. You bet your ass did something else of note go down. Another distraction. Is it hard for you to speak without being so hyper? Or at least stop swinging your arms around like that. Can't do that, friend. Broke all my prosthetic arms in a fight. So I'm calibrating a new set. Gotta keep swinging them if I want them to sync up with other parts anytime soon. Anywho, I don't know what the hell's going on, but people started turning into some weird monsters all of a sudden.
Stream stopped lagging.
I have a goddamn clue to who they are. Don't seem like they can understand us either. Getting my train car didn't have a lot of those monsters. I just chopped whatever monsters were to pieces and hauled the civilians to this vacant car.
Sob.
32,201 red colors. 3,202 red colors. They go wild. You have decided to protect them, despite the potential risk they may transform as well. But of course, it is the expected duty of any valorous fixer to stand guard in the front lines against evil to protect the weak. I've been keeping a close eye on them for the last 3 days, and so far, 0 transformations. Go past this car and you'll see what hell on earth really means. Those monsters are constantly trying to claw their way into the front of the train. So, if you ask me, I'd wager that some shit went down there at one of the train cars in the back and spread like wildfire till it reached here. I see. And that's all I can tell you about the situation. So, what's your story? Why'd your rich first-class folks suddenly decide to grace us peasants with your presence? Nothing that's happening here could have made it to your swanky first-class cars. So, what's your business down here? W Corp has hired us to solve this case. We are... Fixers! Indeed, fixers.
Faust nodded reluctantly as she affirmed Don Quixote's boastful declaration.
Huh. You got every single one of you on a first-class ticket? Or else I'm just be rolling in the dough. Wait a goddamn second. Did W Corp already knew this would happen? But, are you really contrary to a wing? Not sure if I trust you. As you must be well aware yourself, contracts and contract fulfillment are of paramount importance for fixers. With that in mind, please recall that W Corp is one of the most secretive wings of the city. Ah, a non-disclosure agreement, huh? Makes sense. I wouldn't want to deal with those oofy boys either. Anyways, I'm gonna have to ask for proof that you're actually contracted by W Corp. This is the master key card given to us by W Corp. I believe that I can open most doors aboard this train.
Faust produced a master key from her pocket. I guess there isn't any other way for us to prove that we're actually contracted by W Corp.
Key card. I think you can use this to open the path between the first class and economy class car. Let's see. W Corp logo. Oh, nice materials. Looks like you're telling the truth. Alright, I won't pry. Not like there's any cash in it for me either.
Stream's lagging.
Well, So, I guess you gotta go all the way down there for your job, huh? Yes.
The fixer finally got out of our way, then, with one of her free hands, pointed towards the opposite door.
Well, it's your funeral, ladies and gents. Well, your victory lap if you guys are really that good. Lots of luck to y'all. I thank thee for that words of courage, Fixer Sasha.
Stream stopped lagging.
I shall trust thee with the protection of this fortress. Prithee, protect the innocents in my stead. Fixus, are you a fixer? Are you gonna save us from the monsters in the car behind us?
Why does this kid look like the one fucking girl from Kane Office?
Oh, the one with like that with the hair covering her eyes.
Yeah.
I can see. I mean, they have similar hairstyles: black hair, long hair,
Yeah.
semi-colored eyes.
Yeah.
But alas, they are just a background character.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, indeed, a child.
Child, background character.
This is the story of how I got killed in a library and reincarnated as a child in the same world. Just as we were about to reach the other end of the car, a passenger pulled on Don Quixote's coattail.
Hey, forsooth! Whoa! Are you a famous fixer? Forsooth! Once again! Thou mayest know me as a profoundly illustrious color fixer! I almost said color fixer. Red Mist Don Quixote confirmed, real.
I mean, I feel like if anyone would get a color fixer ID, it would be Don Quixote.
It'll just make sense. Yes. Oh, I want to be a fixer too, just like you.
Yeah, primarily just because of the similarity in their ideology to a degree.
Well. Oh, Pastor Lady, I'm sorry, she's my daughter and... Worry not thyself, 'tis no matter at all. Thou must dream of becoming a fixer thyself, little squire. It is fortunate that someone like yourself is aboard the train. Your presence ensures that child's survival.
What do you mean, oh, never mind?
What you talking about, also? Come on, no need to keep up appearances between people in the same line of work. I'm just here to collect some sweet emergency contract fees from each and every one of them. Ain't you want something or what?
You thought the child was about to die. I don't think Don Quixote needs to hear what she just said.
Didn't know you could be like that, Faust. Be like, what? You know there was no way the fixer was actually there to protect them out of pure goodwill. But you decided to go along with Don Quixote's delusions anyway. Am I right? Good enough. I was getting worried about what might happen if she started acting out again. Saw a twinkle in her eyes. Yeah. Oh, Discord's lagging. Saw a twinkle in her eyes too, right? Now Quixote's always been energetic, but she's been especially bouncy today. Eyes.
Faust strode towards
Sasha.
Shosa?
Sasha.
Shasha?
Sasha.
Sasha.
Yes, Sasha.
Sasha with a question.
I have one last thing to inquire. It'll be 30k on per inquiry. That is quite an unsound decision to make for someone who claims to be in the same line of work as us. Have you considered the possibility that once our contract is successfully completed, we could include references to a particularly cooperative associate office in our report to W Corp? Whoa, you serious? Hold on, let me hear it. Were the eyes of the monsters he faced red by any chance?
Sasha paused her swinging arms for a moment upon hearing that question, appearing to either be in thought or trying to recall something, then answered.
I don't know. Those monsters are red all over, but is there something special about their eye color? Well, for one, my prosthetic eye is red. That passenger over there has got red eyes. Oh, you there. You there. The lady with the big sword, a big sword, has also got red eyes. What? Is someone out there paying cash for info on red eyes or something? No, well... It was a question of no significance.
Faust nodded lightly in her direction, then opened the door to the next car.
I can't whistle for love of me.
I can, here.
It did not pick up a Discord.
Oh, shit. It was just as we had feared. The scene that appeared before us was looking like it came straight out of a painting of hell. Yeah, of course Ryoshu would be chill.
I wish you guys should have liked that.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what her story was about. It was
That's
like...
kind of her whole character in general.
Yeah. I mean, the book specifically was a painter trying to paint the 9 layers of hell, I'm pretty sure.
Speaking of which, painting of hell.
Yeah.
Looks like this one's straight combat.
Yeah, the stream's lagging a lot. Right, lead.
I love lead.
Holy shit, combat.
Yes, straight combat.
Holy shit. It feels weird not being in like a fucking mirror dungeon. Oh
How much dialogue there is?
Pardon?
Never mind.
Yeah, just even the dialogue and everything. And also having to remember that, yeah, I can't just spam my skill trees and buy more skill trees.
Yeah.
물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 작자란 걸 준비해두지.
Also, look, there was no blood feast last turn, and she already has some of her special material.
Oh, wait, what skill did you use?
The skill 3.
Oh.
Yeah, the skill 3 on Princess of Lamanchalan's like really fucking rude.
Yeah. If it does damage.
Yeah, and like you only get the variant version if you have the maximum value.
I have 25 blooming door.
수감자가 되고
I love meeting with fucking conditionals. I'm sorry, was that fucking 7 lead count? I'm so tempted to leave this guy alive just to fucking harvest. Never mind, we have La Sangra.
Frank him, Dawn.
Frank him, Don.
You already know.
Fuck's sakes, Don.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 꿰뚫려라. 얼마나 좋습니까? 원더풀한 선택이었어, 나리!
Wow, that was like actually insanely easy. Holy shit.
Yep. Pretty sure like most of the fights at first interval is pretty easy. Pretty sure.
너를 향한 죄책감도
Wow, actual combat.
생각나지 않을 거다.
Yep. Oh, this one's sword though.
Aw. Wait, there's a way to tell?
Yeah. Click on it again. Look, book and sword.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Didn't see that before.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
I thought there was something you could look at on the note itself to tell.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도 포기하지
Oh,
마세요.
fun. Both
적들의
of the
공격은
skill.
우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을 테니. 떨거지는 잘라낸다.
단순해서 좋건
Fun, fun,
원수감자.
fun.
물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지.
죄인인가? 합격장.
I'm still thinking about last stream and Faust just going, don't think they hit the tower. And, like, I really want to fucking animate
the
that.
fuck out for me made that even better.
자가 되어. 이제
But yeah, the 9/11 Faust thing I want to animate.
말
참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말 따위를 쉽게 하지 않아요.
점 찍었네.
I did not mean to use that skill for you.
Oh,
Also, I will never get over how, like, shitty the skill 2 variant is by default, but then with conditionals, it's absolutely insane.
완성되었나?
it's really damn good if it's actually properly, you know, done.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
Yeah. For a second, I thought that was like a fucking enemy about to do an unopposed attack on Gregor. I was about to go like, oh shit.
한 발이면
Fuck.
충분해.
우리 의뢰가 아니잖아. 점 찍었네.
아류산 소탕의 80. 적에게 치명상을 입혔군요. 꿰뚫려라. 관리자님은 당신이 생각하는 것보다 대단한 능력을 갖추고 있다고 제가 늘 말씀드렸죠.
Holy fuck.
저는 먼저 옳은 말을 한답니다.
완성되었나? 완성되었나?
너희의 목표 이 혈투 승리로 이끌.
I don't even know how to react anymore.
점 찍었네.
Real.
기도라. 이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요.
I'd also like to point out, I'm barely doing anything, and they're somehow getting like good bleed stacks and shit.
I love La Mancha Land IDs! Alright. Whew. Battling in a narrow hallway really takes a lot of you. Out of you. Too bad making big... Too bad making big movements when there's not a lot of room to move around to it. It takes more energy than you might think, especially for people like us who use long weapons.
These enemies weren't much harder than the other ones we fought earlier, but it was a little...
It was inevitable.
But it was inevitable that their sheer numbers would eventually wear down the sinners.
What are these things, Faust? Yeah, I've been wondering that too. Why so tight-lipped all of a sudden? those entities are...
Those enemies are...
What do you think those entities are?
Stream stop lagging.
Huh? Didn't I ask you the same question? Oh no, are you giving us a chance to come up with our own answers first?
Of course, Faust did not confirm nor deny his question, but Sinclair was perfectly capable of interpreting her silence in his own fashion. Streams lagging again. Fun.
There were some things to learn after finding them, I think. These monsters aren't mad at us, nor do they want to attack us because we're an obstacle. That's not why they're attacking us. Quite! 'Tis apparent they hunger for odds, judging at anyone and anything in a desperate quest of it. Right, that's strange, though. I thought hunger or thirst wasn't anything aboard these trains.
It could be determined from the entity's attack patterns that the default offenses were not based on rational thought. The source of this behavior can only be traced back to primal aggressiveness.
Yes, and was there anything else? Anything else? Oh yeah, I think they all had red eyes.
Their bodies wreathed in blankets of red.
I smell blood, so that's likely what they're made of.
Then it must be that the...
Okay, Discord please, thank you.
Then it must be that the red was congealed, nay, crystallized blood.
Thank you all. Your input has been very helpful.
This was my turn to start whispering. What did you learn from that?
Absolutely fucking nothing, Dante. We are in luck, Dante. I have read upon this subject as a tangent while perusing information regarding our next destination, moments before we board a train. And while that will be a useful element in resolving the situation, the sinners have also been a very good source of intelligence. That when it came, this question was like, there you go. When it came to categorizing and identifying important evidence from the available information, your advice was correct, Dante.
Okay. You mean you know what to do to blow this case wide open?
Nothing can be said with absolute certainty at the moment. However, this will be a good place for us to start.
With that, Faust turned around and faced the rest of the sinners.
I will now present before you a solution to this predicament. Huh? Is there something else we gotta do other than beating the crap out of whatever is in our way? That'll not change, no. However, what I'm about to show will give you a better understanding of what the purpose behind W Corps' contract and provide us with the possible means of finding the method by which we may complete it. It is very likely that the entity behind this incident on this train, and by extension, every incident of the same nature that occurred in previous warp train trips.
Avert actually found the I didn't learn shit Dante. Fucking really funny.
Is a blood fiend.
This art is really cool.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는 순간에는
Story
생각나지
and fighting.
Fighting.
그러니
Very
Almost there.
close.
마음껏 마시
Like 2 more stages or so.
Yeah, actually 2 more exact. Oh wait, I should be doing the bonus thing.
Oh yeah, get the
what?
sport Otis or sport Ryosho or Otis.
Oh,
Alright, you have to sacrifice one, yeah.
Oh.
Which one will you sacrifice, hmm?
Oh, God, it's not worth it at this stage, I don't think.
Probably not. Just do 2 more stages and I'm good.
더 대.
Yeah.
곧 먹이를 먹여주지.
Wait, a blood fiend? What's a blood fiend?
Bloodfiend? What in the name of wings is that?
Huh? You of all people haven't heard of a blood fiend? Thought you were our team's expert on obscure lore.
Really? I have not once heard mention of these blood fiends. Perchance I will have magazine articles slip from my memory.
Don Quixote furrowed her brows, genuinely lost. It was as though the word sounded alien to her.
I thought they were just monsters in the stories to scare children at night. They're supposed to be afraid of garlic and sunlight, right? Oh, that sounds a bit different from what I've heard. I heard their fear of garlic and sunlight is just a rumor, and what they're really afraid of is water.
Stream stopped lagging. Huh. Okay, that foreshadowing was pretty clever.
Yep. I have been briefed on the existence of blood fiends in the past, when I served as a commanding officer. And I've seen the dregs that they command. Though my memory isn't very clear, I'm quite certain that these monsters here do not resemble what I've seen. I've seen what we call themselves blood fiend among the ranks of fingers, but the things that blood fiends commanded weren't like these rubber textured ones. There's something off about this one. No one didn't spawn these dregs up with abandon like this.
Sinclair, you're stupid. Sinclair, you are fucking stupid, and I like you for that.
Aren't you supposed to know this already? Yes. I see that some listeners have encountered blood fiends in the past. A long-winded explanation seems unnecessary. As many of you have stated thus far, the entities we face in this train do not appear to be blood fiends. In a sense, they are dreg-like beings that have failed to become kindreds. They are referred to as blood packs among relevant parties, according to the information I am aware of. Not a terrible name.
Why would anyone name someone bloodbags? But I take my chances on. What? I'm trying to understand what A-Bird's saying, but I don't understand.
Let me see. I don't understand either. Nonetheless, as has been said prior, it is impossible for passengers to disappear aboard warp trains under normal circumstances. Though our reserve of intelligence regarding warp trains, or W Corp, is vast, if incomplete, we cannot find a possible exception to the above rule. Within that reserve of intelligence, however, I have discovered that inserting a previously unseen variable into the equation allows for the formulation of a new hypothesis. Wait, you're saying that these blood fiends can completely erase people or passengers from existence? A more accurate description would be to say that they are either dissolved or vaporized. Dissolved. No matter the degree of violence the passengers may indulge in, no matter how severe their wounds may be, the warp trains can revert them to their initial states at the beginning of the journey. Among several interpretations of the word violence involves cannibalization, of course. Val struggling not to say, just spurt out saying among us. Among us.
Stream's lagging.
Ugh.
Abert said you are never going to understand. I can accept that.
However, as Petra's collective time itself is in moratorium for the duration of the train's operation, digestion is not a biological process that should be active. In other words, even the devoured pastures could be reconstructed. Oh, slowly, very slowly. There you go. If they are merely stuffed into the digestive tract, I suppose they can gut the passengers retrieve the chewed up chunks of their passengers to piece them back together via the vein-like things connecting each individual. However, such is not true for bloodbags. Bloodbags are, by their nature, obsessed with blood. Their existence hinges on supplying themselves with the blood of their victims. And it is said that they must consume a minuscule amount of blood to maintain their forms.
Wait, what? Didn't you just say that devouring not a thing while we're on the train?
Riker, shut the fuck up and let me explain. If I were to continue my deductions, perhaps consumption of blood for blood fiends and blood bags is a fundamentally different process for consumption of nutrients or energy. To them, blood is culmination, and its element of something that forms the self, including but not limited to emotions, ambitions, wealth, purposes, existence. Then it must naturally follow that they can spend their blood at will, which is a process isolated from other biological processes, such as digestion.
I ain't Paul when even half of that.
You exist in moratoria of time at the present moment, Heathcliff. Yet your emotions still persist, do they not? Anger, sorrow, and joy. They continue to spark within you.
Huh? Well, I suppose they are.
Though we cannot tell whether they may be in a state of alteration, or whether they remain ensnared in the wheel of creation and destruction. It can't be said that emotions, once past, exist, not a continuation. The passengers' will to live, nor for the very existence in which they derive, do not all gently atrophy into non-existence. Even amidst deceased time, Miss Faust seeks to illustrate the similarity between how emotions are to ourselves and how blood is to blood fiends.
Gotcha. So, that's why she said their blood is vaporized, huh?
And if that's the case, then the very blood that's supposed to bind these chunks of flesh here will also evaporate, which means they can't be pieced back together.
There's no incongruence in that logic.
Everyone fell silent for a moment. That was way too much information to process at once. We didn't even know what to make of them. Either.
I would love to ask a few questions, if you would permit me.
Yusang was the first to break the silence.
Could it be said that blood bags are direct creations of blood fiends? If such is the case, then by which method do they... That information is inaccessible at the moment.
Faust replies, avoiding Yisang's gaze. There isn't anything I can do about this. The sinners will only get more stressed if they find out what's going on with Faust. And that's something we both want to avoid.
Accessible. Indeed. Now I recall what you have said in the past. This is only speculation, however. I assume that a form of direct physical contact is needed to turn an individual into a blood bag. If such were not the case, then we, who are likely the greatest obstacles to this entity's goal at the moment, would have been the first ones to be turned. Indeed. In that case, that villain of a blood fiend must be hiding out somewhere aboard this train! Indeed. If we are to believe the words of the fixer from earlier, then there's a high likelihood that the horde is advancing in this direction from the back of the back to the train. In other words, continuing down the train cars will lead us straight to the Blood Fiend. Very well. I shan't forsake this opportunity to bring peace to the souls of the innocent passengers who have perished by the villain's hands. Dante.
It seemed that Don Quixote was now
Invigorated?
invigorated. The other sinners also seemed satisfied with that. Seemed satisfied now that we had a clearer sight of our goal. Paus, who stood amidst them, nodded in my direction. Well then, let's go. We're making the best of what's available to us at the moment. Let's move forward for now. Alright, I think it's going to be primarily combat until we reach the big bad.
Correct! I think. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. How the fuck are you on the train? They aren't cleanup agents only supposed to board after the train ride?
I will not explain, for it shall be explained later.
Okay.
죄인인가?
기다려.
Fine. Is there like a conditional I missed somewhere with the blood fiends that gives them more bleed count on like fucking blood fiends and shit? Blood bags, I mean?
So. I don't think so.
Why are they producing so much blood count? Bleed count.
I don't know.
단순해서 좋건 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지.
I mean, maybe check the, what's it, the blood bags, like, passes, maybe something with that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. Yep, that would do it.
Yep. They just have very high bleed, and naturally.
Okay.
They're bleeding!
Yeah, I was like very confused because I was like, I know for a fact some of these moves do not produce like fucking bleed count.
저들이 기세등등하니 잠시 경계하세.
죄인인가?
꿰뚫려라.
방금 건 제대로 된 공격이 아니었는데 혹시 너희들 중에 매뉴얼을 제대로 안 읽고 온 사람들이 있는 걸까?
비뚤어져 버려.
폴리리 방금 뭘 본 것인가?
너희의 목표
엄청나게 상황을
승리로 이끌겠다.
점 찍었네.
This is working out very well.
Me when Blood Fiend is good against Blood Bag.
Pardon?
Me when the Blood Fiend is stronger than the Blood Bag.
Yeah. This is actually kind of insanely easy.
I love Blood Fiends! They're so strong! I love bleed!
기회를 잘 활용하길 기다리겠습니다. 기대는 언제나 기다리는
The
운명이니까요.
problem is I also keep killing them way too fast.
When you bleed?
The blood bags.
꿰뚫려라.
효율적인 대처로 개체를
They keep
깨뜨렸습니다.
dying super fast.
참고로 기계는 입에 발린 말을
They pop like balloons.
Yeah.
합격점.
실밥이 터졌나? 실밥이 터졌나?
타겟 제거 확인.
긍정적인 시대가
승리로 이끌.
마음은 놓지 말고.
Use for the love of everything, give Reggie fucking
고귀하게.
bloody hand.
경영 유지.
High hand lead. This is wild, like a wild hunt. Correct.
저런 사람을 영입해야 하는 건데. 완성되었네.
Oh, wild.
I don't even know how like to react to that. That genuinely caught me off guard.
Wild Hung is jump scare.
피를 마시는 순간에는 생각나지 않을 거다. 그러니
So close, so
마음껏 마셔.
One more stage, come on.
there.
부디
Yeah.
정신을 유지할 수 있기를.
I'm also struggling to think of things to say because it's like the fucking week.
요즘
Because it's not the weekend, it's like the weekday.
It is Tuesday.
Yeah, so I'm just struggling to think of anything to say.
I can't really say much because I'm currently also working on notebook notes for art history class.
Very fair.
물론 좋은
I
성과
had to draw a shadow horse.
달고 짭짤한
What?
걸 준비해두지.
Okay, so I'll give you like one of my like paragraph notes. So in 1781, Henry Fuseli, basically he painted the representation of sleep paralysis. And you know how in usually sleep paralysis, like there's like a creature you usually see or something like that?
Yeah.
The way he depicts that was a black horse with like white eyes and like a little, like, I don't know, like it's made with like white and like kind of like a candle smoke.
Okay. I'm also trying to read what Hindley said, but I'm blanking. Also, Abert is also doing homework. I also think the stream stopped lagging.
Hindley is saying, "This is immaculate." I don't remember how I did Hindley's voice, or did I? I was the one who did Hindley's voice, right?
Yeah, no, I think you did Hindley.
Yeah, I did, and then you did Linton.
Yeah. It's genuinely a shame that I can't have more charge IDs.
No charge ID. No, don't get to. No.
Project Moon said no. And then proceeded to lock all of the charge IDs behind a season pass that I have to wait for next season to have
Yep.
to be unlocked.
Yep.
합격장.
Fucking hell, Gregor.
그대로 무너져라.
No, he only gets staggered once, and then once after he gets staggered throughout the fight, he'll never get staggered again.
Yeah.
평소처럼 넉살 좋게 같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
Lossing. Yeah, stream's lagging again.
개체에게 일격을 가하는데 성공했습니다.
Yeah.
승리로 이끌.
샴페인을 가져오기엔 너무 이른 타이밍이긴
So, what
하겠지만
did you do today?
이 전투가 성공적으로 끝나면
Hold on a moment.
모두의 희생을 기리며 축배를 드는 것도 나쁘지 않겠죠.
대가리 딱 떼고.
Apologies, Mom went to the room. Also, I'm trying. College. I had to design, or not design. What was it? Design a logo. I don't like this week and last week in my graphic design class we had to do like stuff with ads. I don't like it. It feels soulless. Dad, I'm an animation major. I don't think you know. Like, I don't think I should be the one creating the ads. You know,
Yeah.
I should just be moving them around. But it's whatever.
Yeah.
Gotta do what I gotta do. Just get to the next class.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
Aside from that, Yeah, that's been basically all I pretty much done today for the most part, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, fair. Honestly, for me, I've just been like, okay, did a bit more for my resume, and yeah, my mom's gonna look at it tomorrow just to make sure, just to like help with the last paragraph and everything. And then, besides that,
그래. 그렇게 시원하게 처리하고
I worked on fucking learning coding for Roblox
일 처리는
Studio.
빠르게 하는 편이 더
Very nice. Manager Squire, halt! Behold, this poor fellow, he lives still!
Don Quixote, her round eyes wide open, began sprinting somewhere. No, stay away from me, you monsters. Hey, man. We're not those monsters. You alright? Huh? That arm. You're starting to mutate too, aren't you? You must be turning into some like monster. What? No. This is... Rigger stumbled his words before chuckling and casting his gaze towards the floor in disbelief. Yeah, well, no surprise there. I suppose there's no way to tell right away when this arm's a monster. Prosthetic or whatnot.
It is possible that you were mistaken due to his prior prosthetic being of an older, outdated make that is now rarely seen in the city.
A prosthetic. That's a relief. I thought those crazy bastards were trying to break in again. As you can see, my legs are messed up. I had no choice but to hide in here.
What are the W Corp's employees doing on board this train?
Huh? You're right. From what we found out about W Corp through identities, I can't imagine why any of them would ever willingly board this train. You're the contract fixers, right? We were ordered to assist you with your contract. I said we. I say we, but I'm the only one left. Every single one of my colleagues suddenly began losing their mind in that car over there. And...
This cannot be! Faust! Is there truly no way to cure the blood bags? My apologies. The access to information is prohibited at this moment as well.
Though her voice and expression were both as...
serene.
serene as always, there was something gloomy about the way she said it.
I may have been too reliant on Faust in too many places.
Faust muttered in a barely audible volume, streams lagging again. I don't know what I can do to help the sinners in a situation like this either. I'd also grown too used to Faust's omniscience because I could always trust it to be there for me. I'm starting to realize that I don't have the means to dig myself out of a hole like this. No, maybe I was too reliant on the sinners as a whole. If when the time comes for them to depend on me, when they can no longer stand on their own, can I really manage them? Lead them to the right answers? Doubt, colored with fear, begins to rise like an ominous
Ominous plume.
plume of smoke Well, what can I do, right? The agent struggled to some corner of the room with his wounded leg and pulled on a lever.
They made good use of this space.
Streams lagging in. And the wall behind what had initially appeared to be a floating chair for the employee slumped open.
Oh, what in the names of the ways is this? Perchance, thou hast hidden a weapon here, weapon most powerful, a weapon most feared by the blood fiends. That held some resemblance to a capsule we saw in the first-class car. But why would that thing be here?
The cleaner agent slumped into the pod that appeared in the wall. Finally.
Huh? What is it that thou seekest to do?
W Corp prepared a small habitation pod for the employees in case there's emergencies.
Really? Then, huh?
Good luck with the rest of the mission. With that,
he just dips it up.
Pardon?
And with that, he just dips out.
Yeah. With that, he slumped into the capsule and shut the hatch behind him. And the door covering the pod closed. Only the floating chair and wall covered with
viscera
remained. He's gone.
There he goes. He has departed the scene.
He blankly stared at the wall the agent disappeared into. Well, then, I guess we gotta... Let's move to the next car. Keep on going. Stream stopped lagging.
Also, I think that's enough.
Yep.
It is!
Finally. ID.
토끼에게 붙을 이름은 없다. 난 그저 아무것도 아닌 그림자 속 짐승일 뿐이니.
Hollow Knight. Right, that is everything for Season 5 that's been released so far.
Yep.
So now I only have to worry about the Madoka Magica ego that's coming out.
Alright,
Okay,
the one goose.
Yeah, the goose.
Also, this is pure fighting.
Yeah. I think it will just be like pure fighting until the end.
Weird, up until the end. I'll say that's why you're fighting W Corp cleanup fixer agents.
Okay.
They will gonna help you, but blood bug strong.
Yeah.
Which I guess that no. Never mind.
단순해서 족한 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸.
Wait, are they? Yeah, no, they're under Pierce. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, that one is that attack in particular. Really good at clashing for whatever reason.
Fuck?
Yeah, it's weird. It will stagger your sinner if you don't block or something.
Yeah, but they deal more damage than the block.
Well, it's better to not take as much damage, but let's see.
Yeah.
Plus, these things got it. Maybe.
Maybe if he would roll heads. I mean,
maybe if
it was what the fuck happened?
Whoa,
there?
whoa! Cinematic.
Yeah. At the very least, they got rid of the first coin. What the fuck happened there?
I didn't see what happened.
Pardon?
What happened? I didn't see.
Like where the camera just fucking zoomed in.
Oh, with Otis or with,
Yeah, it was Otis.
no clue. Game does that sometimes. Yeah, the game just does that. Do it. Go for the absolute lust resonance. Do it. Yeah.
Funny.
You're an absolute lust resonance.
Shame I don't have Garden of Thorns to take advantage of it.
전투 감각 하나 수감자가 이제 그 도토리 알아들을 수 없는 말투만 고치면
방금 공격은 좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
그대로 무너져. 무기를
아까의 공격으로 인해서 대상에게 많은 피해를 입혔어. 적들이 충분히 나약해졌다는 거지. 끝을 내도 될 것 같아.
I don't even have fucking ego.
Oh.
떨거지. 잘라낸다.
I'll be fine.
라샹.
This interval in general is pretty easy.
끝을 낼 시간.
This interval is pretty easy for the most
Yeah.
part.
Somehow Rhodia almost won that.
완성되었나?
Fuck.
Gregor did not win. And he got staggered.
부족해 차려졌지 않나.
내 죄는
이런
내가
사람을
알아서
영입해야 하는
처리.
건데. 사무실 직원을 더 늘릴 재정 여유는 없고.
떨거지는 잘라낸다.
부족해 차려졌지 않나.
거태.
Serious? No. Fuck. No.
이제 정말 개체의 제압까지 얼마 남지 않았어.
There.
개체들의 체력이 많이 빠져나갔어. 괴로워하는 게 느껴지지 않아? 이 기세로 계속 나아가보자.
합격장.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요.
No, it might actually be a good idea to bring fucking Rokumo Ishmael. Just because of the fact that of their skill 3.
Big damage. The ink over.
Yeah.
와우! 벌써 재료를
와우!
손질해둔 것이오?
God, I feel like Gregor's the hardest person to get his like unique blood resource for.
I mean, the best way I found to get it is just like, always whenever you get the pride skill, always just use it. The blue one.
죄인?
Yeah, usually. Like, just the blue one, the blue skill is really good at getting bloodied hand for whatever reason.
시원하게 처리하니
The blue one is like actually designed to get the
일
bloody
처리는
hand.
빠르게 하는 편이
Exactly.
덜 답답한 법이지.
The blue skill. Why are you blue?
어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는 순간에는 생각나지 않을 거.
More fighting.
그러니 가릴 것 없이 마음껏 마셔.
Okay, there.
피를 머금을 시간이네.
Oh, stream's lagging.
어떤 상황이 닥쳐도
Alright, time to find another 12 of these guys.
그들의 공격은 우리의 투지를 꿰뚫을 수 없을
Yeah.
테니. 대가리 딱 떼도. 너희도 이번 역경을 헤쳐나가기만 하면 능력을 기를 수 있을 거야. 비록 그 과정에서 희생이 나올 수 있겠지만 내가 세키라로서
잘라낸다.
널 다치지 않도록 도와줄게.
So let's just take the best one.
There we go.
단순해서 좋건 9번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸 준비해두지.
죄인인가? 양짝 솜씨가 깔라라쥬. 을 만들고 도구 연습만 하는 것이오?
I think the other problem is I don't build up enough like.
Will they blood feast?
Yeah, I think that's another problem with it.
You gotta make the enemies bleed, and the unfortunate thing is that all these guys have really high stagger threshold, making it pretty easy to, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
사람을 영입해야 하는 건데.
사무실 지분을 더 늘려 제출.
There we go.
Up, and thump.
And the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Otis is like probably
효율적인 대처로
one of the
개체를
more
지키는
consistent
중이야.
slashers I have.
참고로 기계는 무게 발린 말 따위 쉽게 하지 않아요.
저기는 땅에 떨어졌네. 이제 우리를 누가 막겠는가? 고귀하게
There we go.
산초류 경혈고 라샹. 끝을 낼 시간이.
방금 공격 다음에 다른 개체에게도 다시 해봐줄래? 영상으로 남기면 다른 직원에게도 도움이 될지 몰라.
위험을 가진
Also, it could just be that Manjanon is just taking a straw to that blood feast because, despite her whole thing being sharing the blood, I'm pretty sure one of her passes makes it that she has priority to take the blood feast.
Yeah.
이제 정말
Yeah, she does.
개체의 제압까지 얼마 남지 않았어.
Yeah, there's also the fact that Princess of La Mancha kind of just a weird one.
Strange fellow.
Yeah, it's like kind of weird to get it going. But in any sense, Gregor.
Gregor, do the thing.
아유 산초 경혈 육수.
제압 개체에게 큰 피해를 준 것 같아. 이 지금은 완벽한 공격이었어.
약점이 뻔히 보이는 게로군.
그래, 그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는
Oh,
순간에
sorry.
생각나지 않을
Story time.
그러니 다를 것 없이 마음껏 마셔.
Get more
Right.
and fill it.
그게
Also, only 4 more stages.
이룰 수 있는 유일한 꿈이니까. 라만 차렌들을 뒤엎는다.
And I'm assuming the last one's going to be story.
Probably. La Mancha ladder.
Oh, right.
대가를 딱 깨고
Also, the problem is, Gregor has another, another effect that determines how much blood boost you can actually absorb,
단순해서 좋건
making him better for, long fights, but definitely harder.
성과를 갖고 돌아온다면
I didn't mean
For
to
shorter
lose
fights.
multiple.
준비해두지.
Fuck.
꿰뚫려.
Shit.
이제야 실력을 좀 내시네요. 평소에
Right,
비하면 얼마나 좋습니까?
is the fact that Gregor also has like another thing that measures how much blood feast he can actually absorb, so that makes it challenging.
계속 그만두던데.
Yeah. Gregor's whole purpose is to let most of Gregor's purpose is just to like sacrifice his health for a blood feast.
Yeah.
Crucify him upon the cross and bleed him dry.
효율적인 대처로 개체를 꿰뚫었습니다. 참고로 기계는 입에 달린 말
Holy
따위
shit.
쉽게 하지 않아요.
Yeah, this is
너희의 목표, 이 혈투를 승리로 이끌겠다.
there.
영원히 잠들어.
There we go. I also, for a second there, thought I could like just... Are you familiar with the squirrel hunting game?
개체에게 일격을 가하는 데 성공했습니다.
Scroll stapler?
Yeah.
샴페인을 가져오기엔
Yeah, what
너무
about
늦은 타이밍이긴
For a second, I
하겠지만
genuinely thought I
이
heard the
전투가 성공적으로 끝나면
God is
모두의
here.
희생을
God
기리며
is
축배를
here.
드는 것도
Yeah,
나쁘지
like, I
않겠죠.
thought I fucking heard that faintly. I was like, what the fuck?
In today's news, W Corp is invaded by the squirrel god. And Gregor Stagger.
Yeah. Like, I was genuinely about to go, what the fuck? Am I going insane?
They added fucking squirrel stapler to the limbus company?
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. Like, I genuinely admit to what the fuck was going on. What the fuck?
때가 13번
Like the fucking cat meme. Huh?
평소처럼 넉살 좋게
Oh.
같이 상황을
Like, how
계속
would you fucking react if you heard God is...
I just said my copy of Limbus Company is haunted, like a creepypasta.
Yeah. Moreover, I'm pretty sure it was like the Minecraft mod that was based off of Squirrel Stapler.
Oh yeah, the god mod.
Yeah, the God mod's like God is coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like specifically that, and I was like, what the fuck? Huh?
God is coming.
벌써 재료를 저기까지 손질했던 것이오. 오늘 공장
I was like, was my team fucking drugged or some shit?
Hey, what if it might have been?
Yeah, like,
이런 거
it was,
구경하기도 어려운데 대단한
it
거.
genuinely caught me off guard.
분석해볼 만한 가치가 있겠어.
기억해둘게.
Something caught my attention from the corner of my eye after another round of brutal combat. What's this now? We were on the final car adjacent to the
Right?
freight car where we were when we discovered the odd box with the T Corp logo on it.
Oh, that's the emblem of T Corp. It appears that the wall covering it was, in the fierceness of our battle, broken. Then that chief executive guy, Hubert, right? Didn't he offhandedly mention about something about partnering with other wings? I guess they were in cahoots with W Corp too. Such collaborations are not limited to T Corp. It is often the case that a wing may work with another. It is only on rare occasions that they urgently request the assistance of a less significant, lesser-known corporation such as our own limbus company. Their choice appears to be quite irregular. Sounds like W Corp's heydays are long behind them.
Also, You know how like it's like pretty. It's stated pretty often in Limbus that W Corp's like kind of in the shitter right now.
Yeah, huh?
What the fuck about R? What about R Corp?
Oh.
Like they got fucked over hard in like Runa. Don't get me wrong, all of the top execs are back alive again, but
Suppose we'll have to see him later in, once we get actual, R Corp story in Limbus.
assuming we get that.
Assuming so. I expect so, because they're not, it's our corporation.
Yeah, but still, there's a good chance they won't. I don't know what it is. I just feel like there's genuinely a good chance they won't because of the fact that it's in the checkup intervallo. It was kind of requested of LCB to like not go Star of the City level.
Huh.
And I think that was Project Moon's way of subtly telling us that they're not going to go Star of the City.
Probably. I mean, I don't really see the Sinners become Star of the City, honestly.
Yeah, there's something in my head that blocks me from seeing them become Star of the City.
At least not purposely.
Yeah, like on accident, and even then I think they would like actually get it figured out so that they were
They won't be considered Star of the City level.
yeah, like permanently.
Like, they'll be considered, like, to the fan base, like, oh yeah, they're Star of the City level, but in, lore or in canon, they aren't considered Star of the City level.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I was just grabbing my hoodie. Yeah, and I think that will also be like another reason why we don't fucking get colored fixer IDs. Because that would be actual hell to balance.
Unless the production somehow fucks up and makes enemies unbalanced more than they somewhat are already.
Yeah. Unless they just go. There's also the possibility that they just go fuck it at the end of Limbus and just give us them.
I mean, I don't see why not. I don't see why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's like, fuck it. You said our game got popular as shit. Everyone. And moreover, it was a smart business move because pretty much everyone would get those IDs, like their colored fixer IDs.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Hi, A-Bird.
Oh, welcome back, A-Bird. Alright. Just like this wall that's falling apart, revealing what's behind. Oh, speaking of falling apart, this room sure got messed up, huh?
It was
Rhodia,
difficult for me to ignore how Rhodia hurriedly switched to a different subject, as though she made a mistake. Even the tone of her voice shifted like she was carrying herself. My wife is doing good. Thank you for asking, A-Bird.
The various destroyed prosthetic parts covered in human remains indicating this train car was owned by several prosthetic equipped fixers.
I can't think about that right now. Let's deal with the task at hand first.
Maybe these people are from the same office as that guy we met at the platform. Remember? He said he was... Oh, Jesus. He said he was warped over to T-Corp on an expedition. Look, it's almost like they were all wearing standardized sets of prosthetics. Same make, same model, everything. I believe I have read articles stating that certain offices do exclusively hire fixers with prosthetics. Wait, he's...
We were walking through the bloodied train car when we suddenly heard Sinclair's voice crack as though he saw something awful.
He's the one we encountered at the platform! Mein Gott! Dios míos. Right. This is the fixer who suddenly started venting at us.
Yeah. He said something about going to T-Corp on an expedition and failing, and bought a whole train cart full of fixers bought a whole train cart of fixers for this contract. I guess he wasn't
Exaggerating?
exaggerating by calling it an
Expedition.
expedition. Stream's lagging.
There are over a dozen broken arms thrown about. They must have fought valiantly by replacing their broken arms with backup arms, perchance. Quite the strategy.
Makes sense. That would explain all those broken prosthetic arms and legs in this car.
Executive Manager, this is likely an aftermath of battle between the fixers and the blood bags. There are many similar cases during the war. Those using prosthetics would simply let their bodies be destroyed in battle because they considered them to be disposable as long as their wallets would permit. Of course, the blatant lack of self-preservation often led them to early graves.
Maybe that's true.
I see. There are multiple possible interpretations depending on one's perspective. Despite the fact that there is but a single scene, I will remember both your inputs. That's a good attitude. Employees with attitude like yours often made it to the end of the war. Yes, well, good for them.
House answers Otis with an uncharacteristically snappy manner. Signs of fatigue were creeping into her pensive expression. You alright, Faust? It was rare to see an actual expression from her. I was starting to get worried.
I am physically unharmed yet. Yes, I am alright. However, I did not enjoy the circumstance which we find ourselves in. It is so as I am casting nets to nowhere while lost and isolated in the blind sea. I could usually complete these deductions within moments after establishing a few basic cross-references between accessible information.
There was a weird effect that happened there.
Yes, it was me laughing at the fact that I'm just imagining, like, in her the line before about to see is just Ishmael sliding into scene. See, you say.
Her voice was such a whisper that for the second part of her sentence, that even I barely heard what she was saying.
Speak of the devil! I know what you mean. Feeling like you're completely lost, obsessive, blind obsession? Obsessively casting net after net of the black rippleless lake in desperate hopes that one of them might pull in something that we could eat. No way to tell where we are, no way to tell if there's even anything to eat under that glassy water surface. Grasping at the straws, you know? This sense I find mired in is the sense I find mired in is not unlike your own. It is lying my back over an unseen grave, for the reflection of radiance upon my eyes, and the sanguine scent hanging upon from the tip of my olfactory tells me not of the forging path.
It seems that Ishmael and Yisang picked up on the first part of her sentence. However, they walked up to her, sharing a few words of
consolation. By the way, I don't ever recall you talking like that, Faust. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's something different about you today, somehow. I don't know, we talk about Ishmael. That is... Oh, I mean, I don't hate it. I'm actually glad to learn that you had a softer side. This unseen side of yours, it is unfamiliar yet quite fresh. Is that so?
Stream's lagging. Faust's reply was
Curt.
She closed her eyes. I'm sorry to hear that, Avery.
As per the information provided by the pamphlet on the platform, it is likely that this train is composed of 12 passenger cars and 1 freight car. Because we are on the 11th car at the moment, now there's a single car between us and the freight car, in which Mephistopheles is secured.
Which means
that there is a heightened likelihood that we will soon encounter the Blood Fiend, responsible for the creation of the blood bags aboard this train.
just beyond that door. Well, how impressive could it be if it
Fodders?
fodders like this week? We probably smashed through them, their entire horde, no problem.
A different, more accurate interpretation would be to say that a being capable of commanding force as large as the blood bags we have defeated should be considered a high-risk entity.
Although this is not common knowledge, there is a subcategory of fixers called blood fiend hunters who specialize in, yes, hunting blood fiends. Assuming that information is true, it can be affirmed that blood fiends are difficult foes that require certain expertise to defeat. Oh, I know how to do it. Just throw a water ball at them. No, now that I'm thinking about it, if bloodbags are mindless straws as blood fiends, then they're kind of like their private army, right? Being a power can create a force of their own without concern for the lore, morale, or desertion. Wartime or not, they will always make formidable foes.
Okay, yeah, stream went to no data and then is now lagging again.
Oh dear.
Yep, YouTube still hates me.
Unfortunate.
The sky is still blue. The sinners each expressed various opinions with one another, possible strategies, estimation of the Blood Fiend's strength, and all of a sudden,
Beyond this indecisive and idleness, our quest to defeat the villain who have brought such pain and misery upon us train, is it not? It may be vaporizing the lifeblood of the innocent as we speak. Mighty or feeble, I care not. I swear upon my honor that I shall smite this foe and let my hand of justice be the judge of their fate. Let us hasten now.
Don Quixote's sudden outburst immediately put a stop to the chatter. She's not wrong. Besides, we have to deal with the Blood Fiend to complete our contract. With that, I opened the door leading to the final car of this train.
Oh boy, it's a time.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는 순간에는
I can voice
생각나지
him.
않을 거다.
Yahoo.
Oh, you want to voice him?
가릴 것 없이
Yes.
마음껏 마셔.
Okay. I was like preparing to voice him.
우리가
Oh, an
이룰 수
enkephalin
있는
module.
유일한 꿈이니까.
I wanted to voice him.
Is there going to be like 2 nodes of story or some shit after this?
Yes.
Oh, fun.
I don't think they're too. As far as I remember, they're not too long.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, we're also making actually way better progress than before this round.
Yeah. What is with that look on thy faces? Now standest in the audience of the prince. Why are thy obscure smiles? He must be the blood fiend who caused this outbreak. He is our target. Fall to thy knees and grovel before royalty.
Who the hell are you to make those demands?
I shall impart this upon thee only once, so listen well. Thou mayest address me as Prince Cassetti, the 6th kindred, or kindred of the 6th generation, the rightful prince and refuge from his family.
Oh yeah, Eileen from... Did I unplug my headphones? No, I didn't. Eileen, like, from Maruna, weren't they a 7th kindred?
Eileen, Elena or Eileen? Because Eileen is the Church of the Gears.
Yeah, I realized I got it wrong. The blood
No,
female.
Elena is the first generation kindred, I'm pretty sure.
No, I thought it was said that they're a 7th.
Let me check. Let me fact check real quick. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, and the reason that they were, like, started the city was because they were, like, killing civilians and shit.
Let me check. Blood fiend. Yes. What generation?
Yeah, I thought it was mentioned in, like, the Bina dialogue.
I am not finding wait. Hold on. Yeah, no, I'm not fine. Hold on.
It might have also been mentioned in the art book.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm looking around. There isn't any confirmed information online about what kindred or what level kindred she is.
Okay.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, A-Bird, I'm assuming, crashed again. But yeah, huh, weird.
I always thought they were first kindred.
Yeah, I thought I heard that they were a 7th kindred.
Oh.
Weird.
Art thou the villain who hath brought such destruction and massacre upon this vessel? Thou art a chatty one, so rudely before your prince, yet I am feeling generous, for I am quite sated at the moment. As thou may have seen on thy journey here, this place is a hall banquet for a feast the most majestic. No matter how many blood bags I create, no matter how much I devour them, the humans just won't stop coming. I only enjoy what was cast into my maw. He dons a mask for the purpose of merrymaking. If you're really going to exchange pleasantries, why don't you take that mask off? Or are you unfamiliar with the basic etiquette? Oh, this mask. Oh, come off. Can't take it off. Shouldn't take it off. There's no prince without the mask. We're so ugly behind the mask, so we all decide to hide how repulsive we've become. Once I've drunk your blood full, then it'll all go back to how it used to be. Only then can I unmask myself. And stitch that mask to your face skin. Not a half bad job. Of course it's excellent! Because its mask was crafted by none other than the great and the eminent barber, whose name I dare not even speak. But it hurts so much. No, smiling. Look how hard I'm smiling and laughing. Yes, I am the prince. That's what I am.
He's a bloody loon in it. Alright, done with the gibberish. Then get ready for the beating of your life.
Enjoy things like you and your friends. Don't cry, bawling and bowing and sniveling on the ground for your lives. Lunch at me instead, The aggression, the boiling blood. Oh, I love the fire.
What are you, Dan? Look around. There are 13 of us, and only one of you.
No. Do not let your guard down, Heathcliff. This entity has managed to turn countless passengers of this train into his blood bags.
I ain't letting my guard down. But we blasted through so many blood bags we couldn't even keep count, didn't we?
Couldn't even keep count? Oh no. But the count is so important! I have to keep count of our visitors. Oh yes, of course, I do. I do remember to keep count of our dearest visitors. Yes, sir, I do. You have no idea how powerful I am, and I shall not relinquish my throne to thee from this budding kingdom. All I had to do is sit here and do nothing, and the blood bags present themselves before me. There's no paradise like this out there. You have no idea what I did to create this place. Oh, how elated my forebear kindreds would be should they be here to witness what I've created. This cornucopia of abundance, this pleasure, oh, this freedom. But this kingdom is mine. I made it. I'm not giving away. Nope. He's fucking insane. This is rather curious. It appears that this blood fiend leaves his car only on rare occasions. Yet, we have seen signs of his insidious influence throughout every car we have visited so far. Then what he meant by how the blood bags present themselves before him has to be... Hold on a minute!
A figure suddenly and frantically charged into this car. It was
Sasha.
Sasha, the fixer we ran into in one of the earlier cars.
Seti.
Seti
Shrinks.
shrinks into his throne at the sudden burst. Rumble
Terror
appear on his face.
Ah, it is thee! Hast thou truly journeyed here to assist us in a quest? Lo, that villain is the blood fiend responsible for the tragedies that have transpired upon this train. I would slay that cur and eventually lead the passengers down that has protected far out of this train. Blood fiends. What if there was more than a single blood fiend on the board? One still capable of rational thoughts. Damn, you actually made it all the way back here. I guess the wings don't give out good contracts to just anyone. I used to fight my damnness too, till I was the last one standing. What's she talking about? But where did that leave me? In the end, I stood alone with nothing but a single one of these forearms left. Kinda funny how the perspective on life can just completely flip when you're really into shit. I think my last thoughts were... Man, I don't want to die. So I fell on my knees and pleaded. I told him that... Not guilty, watch out! I'd do anything to live.
Blood rapidly crystallized around
Sasha?
Sasha like a suit of armor as she swung her great sword at the sinners, striking them even before Faust finished her sentence. Ah.
What did I say? I commanded you to give me a warning before jumping in like that. Do you know how loud your stupid arms are? I thought the family had come for me. I'm sorry, Lord Cassetti. Allow me to introduce my kindred to thee. To be the first of many since my escape from the kingdom I intend to build. My kindred, my loyal squire, we shall be at my side as I build a dynasty of my own, my family. Lord Cassetti had intended to select the more powerful of the bunch to send to this car, as he commanded me, but he was my crew all weaklings, so I present you this group from the first class car. Kindred.
Fuck.
Are you even aware of the exact nature of a kindred? Nah, I can tell you this. When I accepted my lord's blood into my veins, it was as though I was reborn. See, the blood fiend's kindred is like a subentity of the blood fiend. Similar concepts of subentities created by distortions or abnormalities. It must have been desperation that drove you to accept that proposition without hesitation, despite the lack of relevant information.
Hi, Catherine. welcome.
Maybe. That's probably what was probably going to my head before you became a kindred. Al has been in court with this villain all this time? As his lackey? Even ere then, when we first laid our eyes upon thee? Yep. Lady, I have no idea how much I freaked out whenever you asked me about something about red eyes. Not that it would matter if you suspect me though, as my red eye is just this prosthetic. Then the messengers who were under thy protection. Haven't I told you that the count matters? The longer the line, the better. Shh.
Dozens of blood bags began stumbling into the room from behind
Sasha?
Sasha. A smaller one among them stood out to me.
The child.
Yeah, my mind immediately snapped back to the child, grabbed Don Quixote's coattails.
Coattails.
I knew that the passengers were dead the moment we realized
Sasha?
Sasha was a blood fiend, but this, I really hope that I wouldn't have to face this reality. Not like this.
There was a child. Yep. Little Runt wants to be a fixer. She got to grow up. Good thing she won't, though. I can tell you on good authority that not living as a blood bag is way better than the drudgery that is the life of a fixer. Believe me, I know. Hold thy vile tongue. Dreaming of becoming a famous, respected fixer and an actor of justice? It's all just a stupid pipe dream that always ends in a crushing disappointment. Or a really early grave. Silence! Silence!
Don Quixote did not give Sasha time to finish her sentence. She was already charging full speed at her with her lance drawn. Yes,
Sasha, it's a
Bird.
child, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, Bird, you were right. The child did die.
재료가
Mhm.
저쪽에 있음. 어디요?
I forgot about that fact.
저쪽에 있음. 보고 챙겼으면 다행이다옴.
대가리 딱
Why did I? Didn't mean to use that. Fuck.
기적해 찾아졌지 않아.
전투 감각 하나만큼
I just got a terrible idea in my mind. Fucking the blood bag child and like fucking the chicky jockey meme.
I thought you were going to say Manager Dawn hitting the child with La
단순해서
Sangra.
좋군 이번 수감자. 물론 좋은 성과를 갖고 돌아온다면 달고 짭짤한 걸.
Oh yeah, they take less bleed damage.
Okay.
고귀하게.
Hi, Kitchen Blender. How are you?
분위기 좋은데? 지금이라면 한 단계 높은 의뢰도 성공시킬 수 있겠고.
대가리 딱
Yep. Right. This is. How did Dawn roll tails on both of those at 33 seconds?
No clue. RNG.
도구 잘못 챙겨갔잖아.
다른 거
Fuck sakes, Gregor.
God damn it, Gregor. Well, at least he won't be sorry for the rest of the fight, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Better now than later.
Well, I wonder, I hope you get some good sleep since you're tired.
Let us sleep, child.
그렇게 시원하게 처리하니 보는 맛이 나는군. 일 처리는 빠르게 하는 편이 덜 답답한 법이지.
Ah, Gregor will be fine.
Yep. It was also just a counter.
Counter?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah, he'll be fine. Oh, Rodion might not be. Nah, she's fine. This is a little paralysis.
Yeah.
She'll be fine.
내 내가 알아서 처리.
You hate the floor. Good to know.
우세한 환경에 있습니다.
내가 어버이보다 뛰어.
관리자님이
break the floor.
제 말을 집중해서 듣고 있었다는 결과겠죠. 이런 과정들을 통틀어 신뢰라고
Blue
부르는
one.
바다군요.
Yes.
긍정적인 변화네요.
대가리 딱 떼고. 산초를 경을 온 라샹
라상.
끝을 낼 시간이.
45 SP, by the way.
기도해라.
There we go.
A beat, a bunk, a chunk.
부족해
밥.
보지 않아.
Bop.
네 피분수.
Alright, now fight Sasha.
이제 정말 개체의 제압까지 얼마 남지 않았어.
떨거지 잘라낸다.
Bunk, bunk.
Ah, sorry to hear that kitchen blender.
다리우스탄 초평일 80.
Oh,
갈라지도록.
yeesh.
Yeah. Holy shit, an enemy that actually loses sanity when you
Wow.
lose the flash. I never would have thought of it.
Wow. Wow. And it's the only one that ever appears.
Yeah, fucking feels like it, honestly. Given the fact so many new enemies just don't have that feature.
Sanity or just regain sanity.
Yeah.
딱 떼고.
Up, up. Dagger. What?
Oh, wow. Wait, how many bloody hand is that?
A lot. Unbelievable. My first could just be created without their authorization. This bumbling fool. Give me very forgiveness, my parents. I want to beat you with the belt later. Be gone from my sight. At least thou hast brought me more blood bags for sustenance. Yet it must be a responsibility of the parent to clean up for the mess of his child. What a lot of shit.
With that, Cassetti
Cassetti?
reached out towards the pile of blood bags on the ground, and so Ryoshu's not a good mom got it.
Yeah, no. Oh, what abundance! I nearly had forgotten this sensation.
An armor of hardened blood material fluorized over the Blood Fiend's body, with
Sheer aggression.
his sheer oppression and hated with
It's palpable.
palpable palpability enough to make our skin crawl. Yeah. Well, at least it's good that your skull's not cracked or anything.
It appears that he has empowered himself by reaping their blood. Oh, my power is yet to fully return. This magnificent armor is quite befitting of a parade for the prince who will become a king. What's thou agree? Yes, sir, yes you do. Of course you do. Challenge me now, O rebels. Challenge thy king.
Okay. Your
I'm
funeral.
to kill you first try.
Your fucking funeral one. He's so fucking.
Hey, he's dead. He's oh, he's dead. Oh shit! Is that Higher Kindred? Is that Tori? Imagine like for like 75, like if you have all 4 blood fiends, like instead of like the 5, it's just a cutscene, just a going, oh shit, and it exploding.
Yeah, you're welcome to join the Chamberlain. I think, yeah, we're almost near the end anyway, so
시작하자.
it really is up to you.
As we up to the if Diane wishes to join.
하면서 그게 효과적일 것이라고 생각했나? 관리자의 전투 교육
Unclassable.
위에 제시해야 할 수.
It's a face change attack.
Okay. Oh gosh, I thought something.
Wow.
No, I was just more looking to see like how am I? How are we?
Doing so much damage.
No, like applying so much bleed.
You did. You're doing good. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Also because I. Serious, a little bigger.
One.
Oh yeah, this attack is really weak. I am the prince of the parade.
Yeah, but honestly, it would be pretty cool if you did join.
Oh yeah, now it's all hopeless. Yeah, face change. Now he gets big power up. Basically, just endure as much as possible. For now. Or yes, Eagle Spam. He can't beat Eagle. For the most part.
Fuck.
That's why I said for the most part. Blood. And yet, he still doesn't do much damage. Oh, let's kick his ass!
Like I said, Otis is probably like my most reliable tracker.
Not it's me. What do you think I do was?
Ariasho.
내 팔은 변해 있었어.
Absolute bullying this little shit.
It's like that. God, it's like the fucking Mr. Squidward, open this thing. Make me badass. Oh wait. Oh.
That should win. Maybe.
Think I should risk it?
Fuck it, we ball?
Fuck it, we ball.
Hell yeah!
We might even stagger the top tier of 8.
No!
Fuck. Oh,
No!
doesn't matter, we got the fucking blood hand regardless. And Otis won that with a skill 1.
Yep. Told ya! See, I told ya!
대골바가지 거미 대가리. 자!
Nice 100 damage.
앞으로도 그렇게만 해주세요. 승리를
Huh?
이끌.
I'm getting my head speed out here.
Oh wait, the conditional that Dawn has that makes it so she can't die to blue.
Yep. And she has 33 bleed currently. And 2 count. Oh, Gregor has 27
Wait,
bleed.
no, the
Jesus.
count's going to... It's going to disappear by next thing, meaning Dawn's going to be able to heal.
대가리 딱 대고.
Don't die, Don. Yep, she's fine.
평열 80. 갈라지도록.
Some health back.
A little help is
Don
good.
Quixote, die or live. Hopefully live.
Life or death for Don Quixote.
Get it.
This just in, a priest whipped a mentally
방금
ill
공격은
child.
좋았어. 이대로만 계속해보면 좋을 텐데.
This is fucking bullying.
Yep. Just straight up bullying a kid.
Yeah, we're just trying to
대부분
apply
분야에서 저는 최고의
as
성능을
much
내는
bleed as
AI지만
we fucking can on him.
응원은 조금 더 준비 시간이 필요합니다. 공감의 영역은 잘 쓰지 않았던 기능이라 일단 먼지를 털어내야 하거든요.
Oh wait, what's the unique state fragile?
He asked me here. My god. I should have stepped out of Lamanchaland.
Body's not built for these strings.
Bloody Wayne spilled for his shoes. Take your ass back. Your soft ass back to La Manchaland.
Another pop. Yep, you do back kicking people.
승리로 이끌.
Oh wait, shit. Oh boy. Oh, so that's where all the fragile is coming from.
Yep.
Should I use this variant?
Well, that's a guaranteed win.
No, like, oh, this is also guaranteed.
Me too.
It's just I think this doesn't inflict bleed on Syl. Yeah, no, it doesn't inflict
Yeah,
bleed on Syl.
And it inflicts bleed count. So even better.
Yeah.
좀 찍었네.
Oh, and gives shield.
피날레를
Yep.
준비.
So they won't heal, but they'll get shield.
Yep.
I can accept that.
Also, he's gonna get staggered.
Yeah.
Please, stop, no!
우리가 우세를 정하고 있어. 하지만 여기서 방심하면 안 돼.
Death.
지휘팀이라면 완벽하고
Kill.
빈틈없이 모든 걸 끝마쳐야 하지
There.
않겠어?
Pretty good.
다리탄초 평열 60.
약점이 뻔히
That was a good one.
Logo priest whips boy with
I
With
fucking
flailed whip.
felt that one.
hurts. It hurts.
Yeah, I fucking bet it does.
That fucking whip hit me so goddamn hard.
He had 22 HP left. That was not necessary.
And Gregor's like slid in with the whip and just smacked him in the face with it.
Yeah, the only way that could have been any more overkill is if I'd used the fucking Solemn Lament ego.
Yes, I love your boiling human blood. But this is too painful.
This guy keeps regenerating no matter how many times we tear him to pieces. Well, at least I can whip him a lot.
I don't know if we can.
Mental.
Mental figure fatigue finally got to Gregor and Sinclair, who collapsed to the ground. The strange environment of warp trains was proving to be significantly helpful to the Blood Fiend's regeneration abilities. The battle continued much longer than our scuffles at K-Corp border checkpoint, or our struggle against the endless horde of the dead at the basement of Watering Heights. The centers had all grown much stronger since then, but they were reaching a breaking point. Don Quixote continues to wildly pummel the Blood Fiend with her lance, breaking, stabbing, and crushing him every time his body part regenerated.
I'm so hungry. Ridiculous! Thy hunger is no justification for this massacre to house rot! Shut up, you don't understand. You don't know how awful it is to fight for 200 years on that disgusting... Oh, no. I don't want to think about it. Shut up, be quiet. No, I'm sorry, I'll be good. Please, just let me have a sip. Just a small sip, please. It won't matter how many times you stab me. I shan't stop until all of thy flesh and bone and organs are crushed into a vicious, shapeless mush, never to become whole again.
But the Blood Fiend's regeneration was so powerful that he's recovering as fast as Don Quixote is destroying him. He's regenerating at an insane rate. I can't.
I killed you, my child! I've given thee new life, invited thee to the banquets. So to thy responsibilities. The blessings of parents must be repaid, no? What can I do? Find their weakness, break their anchor, make them kneel and grovel before me in desperation, just as you had. You, Dad. But wait, I think I've got an idea. Sasha?
Thank you. Sasha began looking around wildly, surprised by Cassetti's sudden command.
No, it's like the way they fight. It's that. The way they fight. I think a lot of the way we prosthetic users fix fights. Huh?
Screams lagging.
Just as prosthetic fixtures slowly lose their sense of self-preservation, their limbs becoming no more important than tools to be replaced. These idiots who act with such abandon as if they have multiple lives to burn through. She doesn't know. They have nothing to protect. They throw themselves wildly into battle just like moths to a flame. And forget to look after what's really important, like this little thing.
With one of her remaining arms, Sasha picked up the master key. Faust showed her in one of the previous cars.
Fuck! Don Quixote, stop her now! Oh, my parents, I offer this gift to you. Ah!
Don Quixote immediately leaped at the fixer, but one of her arms struck her with great force. Ishmael and Ursal, who had been holding Cassetti down, were no match for his strength without Don Quixote's fury. The Blood Fiend threw them both to the side and grabbed the key card.
This is the key to first-class cars, my lord. With this, grow your army of blood packs to bring the glory to the kingdom.
No. Cassetti's
Examines?
Cassetti
Examined?
Examined the master key with clear intent. Without the key card, we were trapped inside this train for thousands of years until it reached its destination.
I believe that I have tried my utmost to overcome this adversity. Without access to Faust's knowledge and intelligence. However, with our loss of the master keycard, the uncertainty of the circumstances greatly exacerbated. At the origin of this plight,
Faust took a deep breath as she was... If she was about
to take a deep dive,
into the source of all this trouble.
it must be my over-reliance on Faust.
From what I could tell, Faust has always been operating based on information she received from Faust. So a situation like this, where she has to make a decision on her own, it has to be unfamiliar to her. But Faust is an admirable sinner, with or without Faust. I've been thinking the same thing about myself, actually. That I might have been relying too much on that perfect Faust. But without Faust, you still gave us some good directions to follow after analyzing the information we brought in. Maybe uncertainty itself doesn't always have to be a problem for us. Remember,
Thus,
the lack of a plan itself becomes the plan. You said it yourself.
I see. Indeed, among many, I am a Faust that believes in uncertainty. Our loss of the master key card is but one of the innumerable uncertain variables in the equation. The constant is, however, that the Blood Fiend is just as desperate as we are. Thus, the only option that remains at present is to compromise. You there. Looks like thou art the one who's been regenerating your friends. Stop. Stop doing that, alright? Don't feel like steal one of them. Please stop. Or I'll smash your precious key to pieces.
Just quiet.
I didn't even realize you joined.
Compromise with the villain. I was the cur.
I did not have time to regenerate Don Quixote's severe injuries just yet, and the rest of the sinners were already unconscious. The only sinner who could still move, talk normally, was Faust, who I just rewound the clock for. Yeah, let's do that.
Very well, then. Cassati, why don't we move this conversation to a different location? Only I will accompany Dante to this negotiation. I'll make my intentions clear now. Dante and I will not attack you there.
There was no doubt in my mind Cassetti must be completely exhausted by the unending barrage of attacks from Don Quixote and the sinners. Faust's suggestions that we move this conversation to a different area without the sinners must be sweet one.
Just you two, huh? Yes. The freight car is immediately adjacent to this one. That is where we further discuss what we each have to offer to one another. That clock must be thy monarch then, hmm? And thou art one of the retainers. Sure, whatever the fuck you say. Yeah, sure, correct. Very well. This will be a royal debate then. It is only right that a royalty speaks to no one else but the one who is equal.
Man, it just what you
We'll be back in a minute on Quixote. Thus we left the incapacitated sinners and Don Quixote, who watched on with hollow, disappointed eyes as we walked away. We carefully made our way into the
Great.
freight car. So, Faust, why are we doing this in the freight car again?
Okay. This will be my first attempt at a gamble.
What? With that, the door closed shut behind us.
Okay, I'm going to take up one of Rodion's techniques.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도
How long do you think the other two stories are?
생각나지
They're not long.
않는다. 그러니
How long is
I
this
assure
one?
you.
없이 마음껏 마셔.
Like 20 minutes, 10, depending on our reading
우리가
speed.
이룰 수 있는
Fuck.
유일한 꿈이니까.
The last one is, well, just a little bit exposition for, you know, next canto. This one,
I'm tempted to say we call it here. Since it's getting late, I should go to bed soon.
but it's just a little bit dialogue.
You think... We'll see how long this one is, and then after that, we'll see. So this pathway leads straight to Mephistopheles.
This is where it all started. This stupid bus woke me from my slumber. This shit hit me in the head while it drove over me. Ran me over. If only this bus had completely filled up the freight car, I wasn't planning to start the parade so soon, or could have injured here. Day. That day. The connection has been restored.
Connection? The
Suddenness?
suddenness of her statement briefly knocked me off my train of thought. I looked at her and cocked my head in confusion. She replied with an even quieter whisper without looking away from the bloodbeam.
Lord Mephistopheles has re-established my connection to Faust.
Did you know that this would happen? That this would work?
Fuck no! No. And as I've said before, this is a pure incalculable gamble based on my own uncertain hypothesis. I love making Faust randomly swear. Anyways. This success helps me somewhat comprehend Miss Rhodio's fascination with gambling. Like I said, I stole this technique.
A faint smile appeared on Faust's lips for a moment before fading away.
Now that the connection has been reestablished, I'd like to make a complaint against the Faust and the Jesselschafft management regarding the fact that they have neglected to list the information pertaining to the loss of connection within the interiors of the warp trains. obvious solution to the situation takes precedence. I have much reason to believe that their omission was done on purpose, but I hope such is not the case.
Faust
Gently.
gently advanced toward the Blood Fiend.
Let us discuss the details of our compromise. What are you willing to accept in return for the Master Keycard? If thou wert just anyone, I would wish to turn thee all into bloodbags and drink every last drop of thy blood. But thou art unlike a common person. My wish is to maintain the secrecy of this kingdom of mine for as long as possible, and I wish is to leave this place, correct? Once I relinquish to thee this keycard, and once thou returnest to your first-class seat, we'll live here happily ever after like nothing happens. And when the train gets there, you get off the train and everything goes back to the way that it's supposed to be. How's that for a deal? Like nothing happened.
Faust, what about the job we were contracted to do in the first place?
Our memories and any signs of battle will be entirely erased upon our arrival. We have no way to relay our news, whether one of success or failure. If we had the means to defeat him, the LASW Corp would inform us that our contract was successful after effect. However, this current scenario will leave us with nothing to show for, not even the smallest hint, and the contract will end in failure. However, what takes precedence over the contract is you and the sinner's psychological stability.
It's not like we've always been successful, so that was something I could live with, but what about the other passengers of this train, and its future passengers? Remember the look on Don Quixote's face when we were coming across these inevitable foes of injustice? Faust does not reply. Yet the lack of a reply was a reply all on its own. Are we going to have to let them die? Innocent lives will be lost, but we cannot prioritize their lives over our safety. That must be Faust's and the company's policy. And yet,
Child. Is that okay?
you good?
Would also like to voice Don Quixote?
Please show allow this.
Don Quixote? I thought her wounds were too severe for her to even crawl, let alone walk. But with sheer will, she pushed herself through the pain to reach the freight car.
I will not tolerate this. We cannot let this regulate. Turn the blind eye to everything he's done.
It's her! Again! What? You would stay here for what is potentially an eternity with this train? I know the truth. Everything hinges on this key, doesn't it? As soon as I break it in half, you'll spend the eons inside this.
I cannot. I should. How come the eons? Should be the eons the petition for thee? This must prepare the will and thy villainy. Go and answer. Let this place be the site of thine eternal judgment.
Faust and I grabbed Don Quixote. She'd normally be strong enough to wiggle free from our grasp, but she already pushed herself beyond her limits merely by walking here.
Faust, unhand me. No, mustn't let him live. Manage Squire.
Don Quixote, letting him destroy the that card means that you'll be condemning the sinners to thousands of years of torture.
Then I shall fill the minion with the tale legend I had read in the magazines. No time, however infinite, shall be too great to overcome, should we endure but as one.
Certainly, you are aware that your suggestion is no solution at all, Don Quixote.
Then there has to be another way. No? No hard both was wrestled great wisdom. Rose, and the squire, is that truly the path in which may I break justice to the and the sinners remain unharmed.
Her struggles begin to wane, but this was no exception. This was just
Dejection.
Wait, Don Quixote, no. In the commotion, we failed to notice that the blood fiend had begun quietly advancing at us. We let Don Quixote go at the last second, but we were a second too late.
Oh, my dear spouse, please forgive my transgressions and create another distinction. Thou shalt become my next kindred.
I'm glad to hear it, A-Bird. Cassetti's scream incoherently as he leaps onto Don Quixote, piercing her neck with his fangs before we even had the chance to do anything.
Oh, I did not expect this to be the solution.
Faust? What do you mean, the solution?
According to this information I have viewed in the past, and once again just now, it's...
Stream stopped lagging.
Dante, take guard behind me and remain absolutely still. Move not a muscle, and please, do not let the other senators must never hear a word of what's about to happen.
Oh,
Don Quixote
Levitates?
levitates slightly into the air. The strings on her shoe unravel as they slip off her feet on their own. She looks on with bewilderment as her running shoes fall to the floor, and
Rocinante!
stream's lagging. I've always had this question swirling at the unfocused backstage of my mind. Why are you always so protective of those running shoes, Don Quixote?
Religious? Huh. Does that speak of our dear Rocinante?
Yeah, those.
I have felt through thick and thin, feast and famines, with dear Rocinante, and sorrow and in joy. No matter the brutally trial that had struck me, it has been going still by my side for however long it had been in existence.
She didn't know where she got them.
Ah, and the squire. Wherefore hast thou not saluted Rocinante as well? This may be rather auspicious occasion to do so.
Nope, I think I'm good.
Aha! Be not so bashful. Go on, ahead. Look stinky, small girl. is torturing TikTok with Stinky. They are not! Scoff they may appear, as not his previous condition. So thou it shall not address me as small girl. Evacuate. Evacuate.
Don Quixote, don't tell me you go to sleep wearing those running shoes. I mean, Rocinante.
Oh, I have always been quite certain that someone's team, so team manages Squire, would care about how Rocinante fares.
I didn't mention that this question was inspired by numerous eyewitnesses, reports from other sinners who saw her wandering the halls in her pajamas and wearing Rocinante.
Really, Rocinante and I bond together, even in slumber. There shall not be separation in the two of us. We are bound not to be near nor want. We simply bound together to fill in and delight.
Now that I think about it, every single ID of Don Quixote's was wearing those pairs of running shoes, Rocinante. Have you ever taken them off?
Take them off? Why? Whatever does thou mean? As in, detach Rocinante from my body? That's a very odd decision. Don't mix it. Make it.
She looks at me with her puzzled eyes, as though taking those pair of running shoes off was somehow an inconceivable idea. There was something much more than just her favorite pair of running shoes. Her odd attitude of treating them as something so far remote from common sense as something completely ordinary. What does Rocinante mean to Don Quixote? What even is that thing? An overwhelming, powerful presence suddenly explodes, radiating in all directions. As the metallic stench of blood suffocates the bus, filling every corner of it with its
Sickening
horror. Then darkness.
No, that's impossible.
In all
absorbing
darkness, voice is our only light.
You are a second kindred. How did you? I should have felt your presence.
I do think I saw a faint outline of an aura. I saw a red aura, a long fur
adornment,
sorts. Through the
shimmering
aura, I think I saw red eyes.
You have committed the sin of willfully and bluntly transgressor.
I know that voice, but I also don't. I've heard it in such a low, imposing tone before. It speaks towards the lesser being, the blood fiend, shuddering, shriveling and kneeling, trembling pathetically.
Mercy, oh venerated ancestor, I beg for the mercy of this second kindred. I beg for the mercy of this second kindred. I beg.
excellent worm.
Crimson droplets of blood slowly rise around the blood fiend's mouth before cauterizing and sealing his mouth shut.
No language working by your
Your mom.
mouth shall be warned my ears. No. To commit sin of filming infamy by attempting to travel against the bloodstream, to commit such abomination against their ancestors, I can as well sanction your imprudence to continue existence. Courage, then melt away.
Freddy's body begins liquefying into a slick stream of blood, his form crumbling and
Curdling?
curdling, the air dripping to the ground.
Rapidly,
Yet
ponderously.
ponderously, like that ice cream Don Quixote loved so much, melting away on the floor, heated under the shining sun.
You.
Don Quixote turned to look at me, who was still on the ground after being thrown by the shockwave. And with a cryptic look of pity, she uttered something.
Indeed, you must be the promise of one piece.
Something I couldn't quite understand.
Rocinante told me.
Rocinante.
I beseech you.
I carefully reach out, grabbing her shoes. I slip them onto her bare feet one by one.
One day.
She
Gasped.
gasped
Stumbled.
suddenly and slumped to the ground.
Yippee.
Yeah, how long is the next one?
It should be fairly short. Shorter than this one, for sure.
The only reason I ask is because it's 11.
What's the last one?
Yeah,
it
fair.
should be short.
Sometime later. Also, I'd like to note, I don't think Hong Lu's going to change, like, maybe at all in his canto. Because with every other intervallo, we've seen some level of what the sinner will be or become in their canto, starting with Ishmael, continuing to Don Quixote, which we can confirm, including Heathcliff. We haven't seen really any difference in Hong Lu.
Both at the beginning. Hong's just, oh boy, I can't wait to go to my canto. At the end, it's just, I'm only slightly traumatized now.
Yeah, like, I think that will kind of be it. He kind of always just shrugs everything off.
Well, that was something. Anyways, on to the next one.
Yeah, sometime later.
Somebody explain what just happened in a way that makes sense.
I knew that the sinners would all be shocked and confused. After all, they were... When they, including Faust and Don Quixote, all came to life after I rewound the clock, all that remained was the destroyed door of the frigate,
The freight.
freight car, and the
Disgusting.
obliterated
Obliterated.
remains of what was once Cassetti. Also, I'm pretty sure the next canto actually starts in at the warp station.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most personnel had lost their consciousness from the mental stress and prolonged battle against the Blood Fiend. Whatever measure it was that the manager has taken, it can be said that it was appropriate.
I guess so.
Well, good work, everyone.
However, the definition of most personnel excludes 3 individuals. Therefore, it would be most appropriate to direct any questions to them.
What? Wait.
Who are those 3?
Faust. The manager. And Don Quixote, who is still unconscious.
Huh, really? The 3 of you?
Wow, you were spot on. When did you even have time to notice that? Oh boy.
I've identified the 3 conscious individuals by analyzing their walking cadence and voices, moments before my lost consciousness.
Right, so what's going on with the lass?
Why she's still out cold?
She appears to be in a state of deep slumber. As she is not at risk of death, she'll be waking up soon.
I remember everything. Of course, Don Quixote's sudden transformation. How she practically erased the Blood Fiend and his kindred from the world without even moving a finger. But I also remember Faust's last words.
Please, do note that the other sinners must never hear a word what is about to happen.
Don Quixote was unconscious and Faust was answering every question with silence. It was only natural for their eyes would fall on me. That, you know.
Wait, that reminds me. Where's the key card?
Last I remember, it was in Cassetti's hands.
Who's in a far more no.
Now let me
Do
check.
you want to voice Rushu?
Or looks percent of state than he wasn't before.
Wait, so what about the key card he was holding though?
God, I suck at writing.
It has been half liquefied. The remains have melted with his finger bones. It appears to have become one with the middle phalanges.
Wait. Wait, oh.
Oh no! Everyone calm down! Calm down! I said calm down!
Huh? I really should have packed more cigarettes, huh? Oh, how about we focus on these open. Focus one on
Doors?
these doors open.
Doors open. The magic key card is not an absolutely necessary element to resolving the situation.
How?
It will require approximately 5 hours to formulate and proceed with an explanation in a manner that will allow the sinners to fully comprehend the exact how of the mythology. Therefore, it will be delivered to you in a digestible, summarized format.
Well, that was short-lived. She's acting all smug again. Stream's lagging.
We can utilize the back door to Mephistopheles.
Oh shit. The sheer confusion in her confidence in her declaration was more than enough to win us all over. So we all headed to the corridor past the back door. Don Quixote slung over one of her shoulders, and we arrived at our destination.
I can't not ask what happened after seeing the state you're all in.
Sandy spitter, sandy putter.
This background art is so fucking good, holy.
Oh yeah. Peak for
Woody.
ya.
Grains of sand and seashells like things fell with every step the sinners took.
There's someone after me.
To explicate, I get grains of sand roll about my jaw with every word spoken.
Some time ago, Faust explained the similar gist of this plan as we made our way to the back door.
To put it simply, we'll spend the time at a space disconnected from the train. The train should be arriving in its destination in approximately 10 seconds, going by the A-Corp timescale. All we must do is remain somewhere in our original dimension for that duration.
And with that, Faust came to a sudden stop in the middle of one of the corridors.
Wait, are you seriously just gonna open a door? With this many doors in here, are you sure that's start one? Yes, this is the correct door. Its safety is completely ensured.
Lass, at least, tell us what's past that door.
I do not care. Anyway, I did not bother verifying that particular information myself. It is necessary for future endeavors that I gain the experience of encountering something completely unexpected.
Wait, what? Faust did not wait for Heathcliff to finish his sentence before jamming the door wide open.
Now please, enter through this door.
With Faust, stern
Command.
we quickly walked into a building that looked like a derelict abandoned hospital of some sort.
I think we walked into the middle of a sandstorm. Huh? How are we supposed to get indoors? How the heck is this even happening? I can't open my eyes.
Holly, I got sand in my mouth. Wait, don't wait. Is this a sandstorm? Am I inside a building?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sinners blurted out colorful series of complaints, trying to cover themselves in the blistering sandstorm. But Faust continued to count in the same indifferent rhythm before digging us out of there just as urgently as she huddled us in. So, we managed to return safe and sound to the inquiries of T-Corp's train as we arrived at P-Corp's platform. And the train was still getting cleaned up, that is, with our bodies completely covered in sand.
We'd never make it. Whoa, are you guys okay? How did these passengers...
We were so happy to be done with this whole ordeal that even W Corp cleanup agents in the middle of a cleanup mission looked downright hospitable.
We are employees of the Limbus company. We boarded the warp train at the behest of your employer. Oh, so you guys are the people that our captain told us about. They really look like you guys keep your memories, huh? Oh, that reminds me. One of the employees must be sleeping inside the hibernation pod over there. Oh, that. Oh, never seen it in action before. Thanks. Let me go check.
Streams lagging. The hidden capsule behind the chair that the cleanup agent crawled into Inside it was...
Huh? Isn't anyone in here? Huh? Maybe we're looking at the wrong pod.
This is the correct spot. None of the spirits of the individual who has entered this pod would indicate.
I guess these folks aren't all in there in the head either. Maybe you guys are just mistaken?
I doubt that.
Yes, we must have suffered from a momentary collective hallucination caused by fatigue. Very well then, we will cease ourselves out.
Faust cut the conversation short before the other sinners began asking too many questions. Now that I became intimately familiar with the
meaning
of that
gesture,
I followed her to the outside without another word.
Have we arrived?
Roz and Sean lies. Had enough nap yet?
I will hear the details of the incident on the bus once we're traveling again.
Understood. And any and all relevant reports will be sent to W Corp via LCCA and...
Virgilius was already there when we arrived. He was sharing a conversation with Faust about what went down inside that train with a serious expression.
I will now leave with Quran and watch these unfasten Mephistopheles from the train. The minute hand on the manager's head seems to be
desperately
signaling me that they have a lot of burning questions to ask you. Allow me to give you two some space.
I was finally able to ask Faust once Virgilius left. Why did you do that? Faust's body was quite literally blasted to pieces before the sheer explosive pressure that filled the room the moment Don Quixote's shoes came off by a bird.
Goodbye.
It was as though she knew that it was going to happen.
Because it was the preferable course of action to having the same explosive demise occur to your body instead. I do find it regrettable that you were made to turn the clock despite my knowledge of the high likelihood of my death upon that occurrence.
No, I'm not blaming you for that. I just want to know how long you've known that Don Quixote is.
Something I have been aware of since the LCP was first established. The same could be said of Virgilius.
Of course.
However, it was by the will of the LCA superiors that this knowledge remains withheld from the manager until the appropriate moment.
And that appropriate moment was back there.
According to my private judgment, yes. Well, that's my connection to all communications, including... Alright, bye-bye, kitchen blender.
Bye.
Well, as well, my connection to all communications, including the one to Faust, has been severed. I was not in a position to receive the headquarters authorization for the action.
Alright.
Now the full truth may remain obscured still. We are once again returned.
Returned? That was
Layered
word. We returned to one of the warp platforms in our own dimension. We've returned to our daily lives of
speculating
about what's next in our path, and the usual Faust
Reconnected?
connected to Faust has returned.
Yes.
Faust replied to Yiseng,
Nebulous?
nebulous, wording with a quiet affirmation.
Affirmation.
Please, do not take this query with any greater import than a mere jest. However, do you suppose I shall see her again?
She shot a puzzled look at Yiseng.
In a way, it was quite a pleasant encounter, was it not?
Yiseng muttered
Ambiguously?
before leaving us. Yeah. The incident at the work train was a
Such a
chaotic
chaotic-
mess that fell shorter than it really was. But I also learned so much about so many things. But it was too short to start racking our brains about what kind of nonsense trail we were about to face in P Corp. So I decided to enjoy this momentarily a piece.
Well, do we find ourselves a P Corp? Wherefore is my apartment throat so parched? I'm too tired to explain. Chiquita, you missed out big time on one crazy adventure. Huh? That vibrated the last few grains of sand on my ears.
The sinners looked at Don Quixote, his bewildered
Awakening?
grinning. There was no way to know what we'll face here at District 16, where P Corp was locked, but
Okay.
we got this, right? Same faith I saw in Faust, who believes in uncertainty, rises within me too. I look up to Faust only to see that Faust was looking at me as well. She nodded at me with her usual
Barely.
barely noticeable smile, and I gave her a light nod back in return. Time to go find ourselves another golden bough.
And that's it.
Cool.
Alright, now get your lunacy from it.
Right. Time for the
Doing
dream.
this.
ending.
Yep.
Yeah, and since there is no event, I don't have to fucking speed through this shit.
You can take our time with it.
Yeah, I can finally take my time again. And like
Mhm.
enjoy the actual peak.
Count 7 is very peak, I assure you.
Yeah. Remember, I'm also voicing Dad Quixote.
Yes, I know. In return, I get to voice Kuraimuro,
Yeah.
the priest.
The primary
What's
reason
important?
the primary reason I want to voice Dad Quixote is because of the scene.
Mm.
You know the one I'm talking about, right?
The N one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm going to likely go to sleep. I'm very glad we were able to. But like I said before, I do think ultimately nothing will change with Honglu in his upcoming canto. Maybe.
The only thing that changes is like he gets either two Jade Eyes or no Jade Eyes.
Yeah.
And that's it. No change of personality, just physically.
Yeah, that would really be it.
It'd be
Even
funny
then-
as hell though.
Yeah, even then we don't really know what the fuck the deal with his eyes are.
He stands Undertale.
Yeah. Like, honestly, that would probably be it.
Sure
Hollow
does.
Knight.
Hollow Knight, Rotis Swamp. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And now it's season 6.
Yeah.
Or no,
How many
season 5.
boxes do I have? Oh shit.
I'm sorry, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I've been saving up since the new ego.
Hmm.
And probably the last thing we're going to get out of the season.
Probably. Aside from, the Rodion.
Yeah, no, like I meant the Rhodia ego.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but yeah, that should be the last one. Before
Yeah,
the
like
next season.
That, and then like I'll try
Saving up light shards and shit for,
The Geno Fair.
yeah, this shit.
But at least with that, you have all the time in the world to get them.
Yeah, and then since it's a new season, I'm just gonna have a fuck ton of boxes for the next season.
Yep.
Because like the battle pass gives you so fucking many.
That should kind of say the Battle Pass.
Anyways, shit's been going.
Yep.
Right, I'm going to bed. Night.
Alright, good night, everyone.
Yeah, and then